I was born on June 28th, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa. From as early as I can remember, I was obsessed with figuring out how things worked. I wasn't the most social kid. I spent a lot of time reading, dreaming, and tinkering with computers. When I was 12, I created a simple video game called Blastar and sold it to a magazine. That was my first experience realizing that you could actually build something with your mind and make money from it. I knew then that technology was my path forward. Growing up in South Africa wasn't easy. I wanted more opportunity, more freedom, more challenge. I felt like if I stayed, I'd be limiting myself. So I left. I moved to Canada at 17, then eventually to the United States, because I believed America was where big ideas could actually come to life. I studied physics and economics at the University of Pennsylvania, but I wasn't meant to stay in academia. I wanted to build. I dropped out of Stanford after 2 days to chase the internet wave that was just starting. My first company was called Zip2. My brother, Kimball, and I started it in 1995. We were sleeping in the office, showering at the YMCA, doing whatever it took to survive. It was basically a city guide for newspapers. A simple idea, but new for the time. Eventually, Compaq bought it for around $307 million. My cut was about $22 million. For me, that wasn't an endpoint. It was fuel. I took that money and founded X.com, an online banking company that was way ahead of its time. It eventually merged with a company called Confinity and became PayPal. People thought online payments were risky, but I believed it would be the future of commerce. In 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion in stock. My share was about $180 million. At that point, I could have retired comfortably. But I didn't care about comfort. I cared about solving problems that matter to humanity. The three biggest problems I saw were the need for sustainable energy, the need to make life multiplanetary, and the need to keep humanity relevant in an age of artificial intelligence. That's why I started SpaceX in 2002. Everyone thought I was crazy. Rockets are supposed to be built by governments, not by some internet guy with cash from PayPal. But I believe that if we could make rockets reusable, we could radically reduce the cost of space travel and eventually make life possible on other planets. The first few years were brutal. Our first 3 rockets failed. Each one took millions of dollars and years of work, and each failure pushed us closer to bankruptcy. I had 1 launch left, 1 chance. If it failed, SpaceX was done. But the 4th flight worked. We reached orbit. NASA noticed, and they gave us a $1.6 billion contract. That saved the company. Around the same time, I got involved with Tesla. I didn't found it, but I joined very early and put in most of the funding. I believed electric cars could be the future, but only if they were fast, beautiful, and exciting. Everyone thought it was impossible. Car companies laughed at us. The media mocked us. We nearly went bankrupt in 2008. Actually, I was so broke, I had to borrow money for rent. But I put every cent I had into Tesla and SpaceX. I couldn't let them die. By some miracle, we survived. The Tesla Roadster came out first, proving electric cars didn't have to be boring. Then came the Model S, which changed everything. It wasn't just a car, son. It was technology on wheels. Over time, we launched the Model X, the Model 3, and the Model Y. The goal wasn't just to build cars. It was to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. We also expanded into solar power and battery storage, creating a full ecosystem for clean energy. People doubted us every step of the way, but I've learned something. Great ideas sound like bad ideas to most people at first. SpaceX kept pushing boundaries. We created reusable rockets that land themselves, something even NASA hadn't done. We launched the Falcon Heavy, the most powerful rocket in the world. We built Starlink to bring internet to remote parts of the planet. In 2020, we launched astronauts to the International Space Station, the first private company in history to do so. That was one of the proudest moments of my life. My companies kept growing, and so did my wealth, though that was never the point. Most of it came from Tesla's stock price, which skyrocketed as people realized the world was shifting toward electric vehicles. One day, I woke up and people were saying I was the richest man on earth. To me, that's surreal. Money in itself doesn't matter. It's just a resource. What matters is what you do with it. I use it to build things that push humanity forward. After Tesla and SpaceX, I started working on Neuralink to connect the human brain to computers, and the Boring Company to solve traffic through underground tunnels. And in 2022, I acquired Twitter, rebranding it as X, a platform for open communication and digital innovation. My goal has always been to make the future more exciting and hopeful. I work ridiculous hours, sometimes 80, 100 hours a week, because I believe if something's important enough, you should do it even if the odds are against you. People often call me crazy or reckless, but I think you need a bit of both to change the world. My journey wasn't about becoming the richest person. It was about solving problems that most people are too afraid to touch. Along the way, wealth became a side effect of impact. From a kid in South Africa playing with computers, to launching rockets into space, to building cars that drive themselves, it's been an insane ride, but I'm not done. The goal is still the same: to make life multiplanetary, to ensure the survival of humanity, and to make the future something worth looking forward to. Because if the future doesn't excite you, what's the point of living in it? After everything I went through with Tesla and SpaceX, people thought I would finally slow down. But that's not who I am. I don't start companies just to make money. I start them because I see a future that doesn't exist yet, and I can't rest until I build it. Once you've stared bankruptcy in the face multiple times, you realize fear doesn't control you anymore. I've lost everything before, and I've rebuilt. That gives you a kind of freedom most people never experience. By 2015, Tesla and SpaceX were finally stable, but I started thinking about what comes next, and I mean the deeper problems humanity is going to face. Artificial intelligence was one of them. I realized that if AI develops faster than our ability to understand or regulate it, humanity could lose control of its own future. That's why I co-founded OpenAI, to make sure artificial intelligence benefits everyone, not just a handful of corporations. Later, I stepped away from it, but the goal remained the same: align AI with human values. Around the same time, I started Neuralink. The idea was simple but bold: to create a direct connection between the human brain and computers. Some people think it's science fiction, but I see it as essential. If AI becomes more intelligent than us, we need a way to keep up. Neuralink could help cure brain injuries, restore mobility, and maybe one day even expand human cognition. It's about merging with our technology instead of being replaced by it. Another major issue that bothered me was the traffic. I hate traffic. It's one of the most soul-destroying things humans tolerate every day. So, I founded the Boring Company to dig tunnels and create underground transport systems that bypass surface congestion entirely. Again, people laughed. They always laugh in the beginning. But we've built working tunnels, and I believe this could revolutionize urban transportation. Then came Starlink, one of the most impactful things we've ever done. Billions of people on Earth still don't have reliable internet access. We launched thousands of small satellites to provide high-speed internet anywhere on the planet. It's helping rural communities, schools, and even soldiers on the front lines stay connected. That's the kind of real-world change I care about. Connecting humanity through technology. Around 2020, Tesla's value exploded. The world finally understood what we were building. Not just cars, but an entire sustainable energy ecosystem. Our batteries, solar roofs, and vehicles all work together to reduce carbon emissions. Investors poured in, and suddenly, my net worth skyrocketed. I became the richest man on Earth, worth more than $300 billion at one point. But that didn't change my lifestyle much. I sold most of my houses. I don't own yachts or mansions. I literally sleep on friends' couches or in a small house near SpaceX. Because for me, possessions are distractions. What matters is progress. Moving humanity forward. Then came Twitter. People ask me, why did you buy it? The answer is simple. I believe in free speech. I think open communication is essential to a functioning democracy. Twitter had become a global town square, but it was broken, filled with bias, bots, and censorship. I wanted to fix it, to create a platform where people could speak freely without fear of being silenced. So, I bought it for $44 billion, rebranded it as X, and started transforming it into something more. A digital everything app, payments, media, communication, all in one place. It hasn't been easy. People criticize every move I make, but that's fine. Controversy comes with impact. You can't change the world and expect everyone to agree with you. The truth is, I make mistakes. A lot of them. But the key is to learn fast, correct fast, and move forward. Failure doesn't scare me. Standing still does. Everything I do, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, the Boring Company, X, they're all connected by one goal: ensuring humanity's long-term survival. We can't stay confined to one planet forever. Eventually, something will happen.